Hi everyone, Greeno here and welcome to another video here on Greeno Eats. Now today I am outside a Tesco store, as you might be able to see in the background behind me there. Now, why am I at a Tesco? I'm here to pick up a too good to go magic bag or surprise bag. Now of course Tesco don't sell them, do they? But they have various concession stands inside their stores these days. So you might remember I actually picked up a Yo Sushi magic bag from a Tesco in Ferndown, I think, a while back, and similarly went to Sainsbury's and got one from Sushi Gourmet, and Asda and got one from Panku. So all these little things are springing up in all the major supermarkets. Now inside this Tesco here, this is one in Poole, they have a Rowes Cornish Bakery, which I'm assuming means there's going to be pasties and pies and all that sort of good stuff. Now they have a magic bag that's new to the app. Let's go and check it out. Right, so I've been in and collected the surprise bag. Well, I say bag, they didn't have a bag. So I was just handed 4 individual little packages like this. Each one contains a different kind of pasty apparently. Now I've tried not to look at the labels. We'll get them home and we'll have a proper look then. Right, I'm home now and I'm out in the garden. I thought, why not come here rather than sit in front of that wallpaper everybody hates in my dining room. But it's nice and sunny. Why not sit in the garden? So I've got the 4 different pasties here from Rowes Cornish Bakers. 4 different flavoured ones. So we have cheese and onion pasty here, a standard Cornish pasty, a beef dinner pasty, and a cauliflower cheese pasty. So 4 very different things. Well, I say very different. I guess the cauliflower cheese and the cheese and onion kind of got a similar vibe to them, haven't they? A Cornish pasty here and a beef dinner pasty. I wonder how that will compare to the beef dinner pasty I made myself the other day. That'll be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Let's get one of these opened up so we can have a little look at how it looks inside. So we'll do that with the beef dinner one. I have got a plate here which I can put it onto if I need to. So this is what it looks like. Obviously you can see the familiar pasty kind of shape there. Nice crimping on it. And you can see where it's been cooking and the pastry's cracked a little bit and the gravy there has started to ooze out, can't you? So let's see how that compares with, say, the cheese and onion pasty, for example. Get that opened up. There we go. So a similar kind of shape, but one thing I will notice is it seems to have a bit more crust on this. If we compare the two, can you see? This one looks a little flatter, this one looks a bit more kind of puffed up. Interesting. I think we should have a look at all of them then. See if there is a marked difference in the appearance of them. This is the Cornish pasty. There we go. Oh, that smells good. And we got the cauliflower cheese one last but not least. There we go. So, a bit more detail about this magic bag before I get into tasting any of it. Like I said, this is from Rowes Cornish Bakery stand inside the Tesco store in Poole. I've noticed there's 3 or 4 of these concession stands started showing on the Too Good To Go app around the sort of Poole, Blandford, that kind of neck of the woods in Dorset. So I guess it's something that's being rolled out nationally. They do sell other things than just pasties there. There are some cakey kind of things. And there's also a little frozen section where they've got their own bits and bobs that you can actually take home and bake yourself, which is quite a nice little touch. Anyway, this bag has cost me £4. So it should have a retail value of £12. I guess £3 each for the pasty. They're probably more than that in store, aren't they, for a hot pasty? But effectively I've paid £1 each for them. Now, when I picked them up, they didn't have any bags in the store, so I just had to carry them out as they were, and they were piping hot, almost as if they'd just come out of the oven. So I do wonder whether the reason these have been picked is because Yeah, as you can see here, there's a little kind of score in the pastry there, and maybe that's the reason they've been put to one side, just because they just look a little less attractive than the others, where the pastry has kind of been compromised in the cooking process and some of the filling has started to leak out a little bit. It doesn't matter, does it? It's a pasty you're eating out of a paper bag. Does it matter what it looks like particularly? I don't think so. Anyway, let's give one of these a try. And I'm really interested to try this beef dinner pasty, because like I said, I recently made a pasty out of the leftovers from a roast beef dinner. If you've not seen that video, I will link it to this one. It was quite interesting, quite a well-received video as well, in terms of people saying it was a good idea, something they'd like to do themselves. Well, obviously our friends over at Rowes Cornish Bakery saw the video and have decided to do it themselves. Now, this is what the inside of that looks like. You can see there's peas, there's carrots, there's bits of potato in there, there's gravy, and presumably beef in there too. I don't know if it's going to be sliced beef or minced beef, but we're going to give it a try. The filling is very soft. Not a lot of texture to it, but quite a nice flavour. Possibly do it a bit more seasoning, just for my personal taste. I'd like a bit more pepper in there, certainly. The one thing that's a slight letdown with this is it does kind of feel a little bit one note in there. What I like when you're having a pasty is a little bit of texture in the filling there. Maybe it's because everything is quite finely diced, but yeah, if you had nice big chunks of potato, of onion, of carrot, it just gives it a bit more character, doesn't it? But like I say, the flavour in itself is absolutely fine. I'm not sure it's any better than the one I made though. Oh, the pastry probably is. But the filling, I think mine was as good as that, to be honest. Let's have a little look at this Cornish pasty now. I'll open that up. You see, this is more what I'm talking about. Have a look at there. Inside that pasty, you can see all the lovely sort of bigger chunks of meat, of potato. That's kind of what you want inside a pasty. Now, I'm just going to have a little corner off of this one because I want to save these, because the family are going to get stuck into them as well, I guess. So, I'm just going to get a bit of this one. But there, as you can see, as it's falling out there, there's bits of swede and whatever in there. You see, that's better. There's more texture. Because the slices of vegetable are a little bit bigger, they've retained a little bit of bite. So, that's good. And there's more pepper in there. That's what I was looking for in the first pasty. Maybe I just wanted a Cornish pasty, who knows? That could be it. So, I think we'll try just one of these veggie ones. I think the cauliflower cheese one I'm going to keep to one side, because that sounds like it's something that will be up Mrs. Greenow's street. I'm going to try this cheese and onion one, because I'm kind of intrigued as to why the pastry in it is so much kind of more puffed up than the others. Can't really see any particular reason why, except maybe there's just a bit more pastry, and so when they've crimped it, it's kind of just folded over a bit more. God, the smell from that one is good though. Have a look at the amount of cheese in there. Oh, yeah, that's good. Again, I'm just going to take a little nick off the end of this one, just so that I can try it. Here we go. Oh. Again, That's very nice. Very cheesy. It almost feels like it's got a slightly different pastry. A little bit more short crust than the others. And certainly kind of a crunchier pastry, if you like. The filling inside, nice and cheesy. And again, that potato, it's the same kind of consistency as the potato in the Cornish pasty. That's really good. Overall, what do I think? For £4, for 4 pasties, I don't think that's bad at all, do you? Especially seeing as when I got them, they were red hot, almost straight out the oven, I'm sure. It's just a little cosmetic issue that I think has led these being put to one side to go into a too good to go bag. Absolutely nothing wrong with these at all. That's a really good deal. As you can tell, I'm pretty pleased with that one. I think the only real letdown out of the lot was the beef dinner pasty. Just thought it was not really any better than the one I made myself at home. The filling inside, just, I don't know, like I said, it was a bit one note, no real texture to it. The other two though, the Cornish pasty and the cheese and onion pasty that I tried, were excellent. Really, really tasty. Not saying that the beef dinner one wasn't tasty, it just could have been better. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this little look at the Too Good To Go bag from Rowes Cornish Bakers, click a thumbs up on there for me, it does help with the channel. And if you're new around here and you like what you've seen, why not consider clicking the subscribe button, ding your little bell for notifications, and that way you won't miss anything that comes up on the channel. So that's it from me for today. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.